What's up, everybody? Welcome to another Angler X video. In this week's video, we take a little tour of my new boat, then we head out below the lock and dam where we're at right now and fish for some walleye and sauger. The ice just left, the water's freezing cold, but we're catching fish. Stick around, I think you're gonna love this week's video. Fishing for walleye and sauger below the lock and dam. Don't go anywhere. A couple of you have asked for a little walk around of my new boat. It's actually not a new boat, it's a used boat. It's a 2019 Lund 1625 Fury XL. The motor's brand new. That's a 2022 Honda 50 horse tiller. But yeah, that's the boat. We're gonna put it in the water. I'll show you how I launch it, and we'll get out and do some fishing, and then I'll kind of run you around the inside of the boat as well. But this is it. I just got it last year, used it a little bit last year, and I'm excited to do some more fishing in this boat. I think we're gonna catch a lot of fish out of this boat, so stay tuned to the Angler X channel. See more catches out of this boat. But let's get out there and fish. I actually haven't used this landing in many years, so I wasn't sure what to expect, but it actually went pretty good. So just had a little ice to deal with there, but not too bad. It's not a great landing. There's some rocks and stuff in here, but we got her off the trailer, so basically just backed it in until it back end started to float, and then used the motor to back it off. I didn't need rubber boots to get into the boat, but I generally bring hip boots or some sort of rubber boot to the landing. Just makes life a lot easier. But if you have two people, you can have one guy sit in the boat, the other guy back it in, and then you just drive it off. It's a lot easier with two people, but definitely can be done with one person as well. Let's go fishing. Alright guys, in the back got the 50 horse Honda. I've got a Humminbird Helix 5 in the back. I also have one for the front on the trolling motor, but I do not have it mounted. That's the one I'm using for ice fishing currently. But I can go in the back here on the under the back deck. There's just a couple of latches. That lifts up. You got your gas tank. You got a little bit of storage with the starter battery. Got some plastics in there. But that's pretty much it in the back. That creates kind of a nice casting deck in the back. It's not huge, but it's big enough to fish off of. Engine's got the trim on the handle here. It's got trim on the side of the motor. Let's see what else. Rod storage is in the floor. Got all my spinning gear in there now for walleye fishing. There's 6 slots for rods. You can fish or fit a lot more than 6 in there if you cram them in there, but there's actually 6 designated spots for rods. And we go up to the front. I got a Minn Kota Tarova trolling motor, 80-pound thrust, and it's a real nice size for this size boat. Handles the current and the wind pretty well. So we will deploy that. So I got a transducer on the trolling motor so I can hook a unit to that. I got storage over here. I just have some warmer clothes, a bag with some supplies in it, and then in the center I've got my batteries for the trolling motor. And on this side I got more storage. I got my remote in there. I got more plastics. Got your gulp. You gotta have gulp. And more supplies, but pretty good storage space in this boat. And last but not least, you got the live well right there. It's got some cup holders, some speakers. It's got a little stereo that was added after the fact, but vinyl flooring, carpets on the side. So far I really enjoy this boat. Hopefully we can catch some fish today and make it a fishing video and not just a boat tour, but we will see. But let's get after them, catch a few fish, and make a day of it. Let's do it. Oh, fish. First fish of the day. Nice sauger. That's a decent looking sauger right there. We'll get him in the live well. I'm gonna keep some fish. It's a good start. So we're just right up by the dam here. And if you look at the dam, you can see the roller gates. And you see there's two gates that are down just a little bit lower than the other three. So that's blocking more current. So I'm right on the seam between the gate that's up a little higher and the gates that are lower. And the water is much slower back in here. So I'm right on the edge of it. As you can see, there's ice chunks coming up over the dam. So that water, or that ice just above the dam, is breaking up. But I just have spot lock on my trolling motor. And I'm just trying to present that bait just off the bottom. The water's still really cold, 32.5 degrees. A lot of ice coming over. If you guys can see that, just sheets of ice coming over the dam right now. The river is opening up. One of the keys to look for to find the dead water is the foam, and the areas that the ice is just kind of meandering around. You just got to use your eyes, and wherever the foam is kind of accumulating. Oh, a lot of ice coming over. Wherever that foam is accumulating is kind of where the current seems going to be. Fish. Fish on. This feels like a decent one. He just barely ticked it. Been kind of slow, but I'm getting a few bites. It's my second decent fish of the day. Let's see what we got here. Looks like a walleye. Chinned him. Got him up under the chin. There we go, not a bad fish. There's one. Crack. Looks like a decent fish. cracked it pretty good. Just hovering it above the bottom down there, bringing it upstream. Just waiting for the thump. Nice sauger. There we go, beautiful fish. See how he ate that thing? We'll get him in the box. Yep. Nice 15-inch sauger. Beautiful. Finally found a little bit of fish here. I'm actually sitting in about 40 feet right under the boat. I'm casting back where it comes up shallower, and then I'm bringing it down into this deeper water here. The current seems just about right here. I got a 3/8 ounce jig on. That's just barely floating up around that bottom. It's giving the fish plenty of time to strike it. I don't think I'd want to be going with a 1/4 ounce here. It just wouldn't get me down where I need to be. See my lines laying back with the current. And I just wait for it to hit the bottom. Then I reel up. Wait for it to hit the bottom. Those fish are thumping it as it's falling back to the bottom. That one I felt really well. Sometimes you don't feel them. Fish. Looks like a decent one. Not giant. Decent. Walleye. A little bit of both, walleye and sauger here. Fish. Fish on. Fish on. That train behind me, so apologize for the noise. This fish feels a little better than the last couple. Oh yeah, nice walleye. Hook popped right out. Go guys, beautiful fish. Fortunately I hooked him up under the chin, so we'll have to let that fish go. That's a great walleye. Great fish. Go. Get that guy back. So I've kind of dialed in my technique here. I've just casting straight back with the current. Like I said before, I'm in about 38 to 40 feet of water. The boat's swinging back and forth a little bit in this wind. I'm just casting straight back, letting it sink to the bottom, and then just bringing it real slowly back to the boat. I'm finding the bottom. It's nice having this yellow line because you can tell when you're on the bottom. And then I'm just dragging it, waiting for it to hit the bottom. You can drop it back to see if you're at the bottom. There's the bottom. When that line drops, you know you're there. Just bring it slowly back to the boat. Reel up a little. Wait for it to hit the bottom. This time of year, those fish tend to pin that jig against the bottom, and then you end up hooking them underneath the chin, which technically isn't a legal fish to keep. As the water warms up, they'll get a little more aggressive and they'll try and eat it. Fish. Nice walleye. Crack that jigging wrap. There we go. Fish on the jigging wrap. Schnoodled them. Schnoodled them. Tell you, one of the easiest ways to catch walleyes and sauger when the fish are down deep like this, if you're not good at finding the bottom with a jig, with a lighter jig, and working it along the bottom like I was earlier, put on a number 3 jigging wrap with a minnow head on the bottom hook and just go straight vertical like I'm doing. Find the bottom and lift it up off the bottom, and then just wait for the thump. It's just a super simple way. You got a lot of weight there with that big jigging wrap. It's easy to find the bottom. The fish love it. If they're real aggressive, you don't need the minnow head, but I find that it really helps get a lot of bites. If you're bouncing it off the bottom, like up and down, you're gonna snag fish like that. But if you find the bottom and then lift and wait, you're gonna get fish to bump it and actually eat the bait. That's how I prefer to do it. There's some bunch of little ones down there. So I'm getting hits and just not hooking them. That one's actually a walleye. But you see how he got that bottom hook, that minnow head on there. Just showing on the jigging wrap. It's getting bigger. It's getting bigger. Walleye. Got the back hook. It's gonna be a little short. Fish. A little sauger. See how you got him on that bottom hook? They're going for the meat. See the end of that rod bounce? Lift it up off the bottom and watch it. Fish on. I want the meat. Oh man. Look at that, a mooneye. Don't catch them every day. They gotta eat too though. There must have been a big school of them down there. Train bite. Every time there's a train, I catch a fish. So walleye. It's gonna be a little short, I think. Yeah, 14. Get him back. Nice fish. Well guys, that's gonna do it for this week's video. We got some good fish. It was a little bit slow, but we still caught fish. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video and maybe even learned something. And until next time, thanks for watching.